I love Charlie Kirk, but doesn't he support ICE? So now I don't know what to think because I loved his debates.
My answer to that would be, first of all, where are you getting your information from about ICE? ICE officers are tasked to take illegal immigrants and deport them. What you're seeing in the short clips on the internet are out of context clips of people resisting law enforcement, legal law enforcement, and then bad things happening. Okay. This is not something that Trump invented. ICE has been going on forever. President Obama deported more people than anyone.
Hmm.
In fact, he gave Tom Homan, who is the border czar, a medal for the work he did to deport people. All right. So this is not something new. What is new is that there are certain cities in our country that deem themselves sanctuary cities, like Minneapolis. And what is going on is that the leaders there, Governor Walz and Mayor Fry, have declared themselves sanctuary cities. So get this, when they have arrested an illegal immigrant who has done some other crime, instead of handing them over to ICE as other cities do, instead of giving them to ICE, what they do is they let them go free into the community, and then ICE has to go track them down and arrest them.
Mm.
And so what you're seeing then is the confrontation when people try and spring these illegal immigrants from ICE. It's okay to protest. It's not okay to impede law enforcement. And that's tragically what happened with Renee Good. It's tragically what happened with Alex Peretti, I think his name was. Even if an ICE agent did something wrong there, those people never would have been hurt if they weren't trying to obstruct law enforcement. And here's something we need to understand. You don't want your perspective to be poisoned by propaganda.
Mm.
And what do I mean by that? Let's suppose, just for the sake of argument, that ICE agents regarding Renee Good and Alex Peretti did something wrong. Should that cause us to say that every ICE agent is guilty and we ought to abolish ICE? No, that doesn't follow. You don't take individual anecdotal situations and apply them to the group. That would be like somebody saying, do you realize that there have been several trans-associated shootings in the past couple of years? There was just one in Canada. Charlie's shooting had to do with transgenderism because this guy was in a transgender relationship with another man, the guy that allegedly shot him. The Annunciation School in Minneapolis, the month before that, August of 2025, a trans shooter killed some and wounded some people in a Catholic school. The trans shooter in Nashville that killed so many people. Those things are all true, but it would be completely illegitimate for somebody to say all people who identify as trans are murderers. Do you see the problem here?
Yeah.
In other words, you don't take specific individual incidents and apply them to the whole group. That's called prejudice. If you want to know what the whole group does, you need to either have complete data of what the whole group does, or you need to get a statistically relevant sample of what the group does, and then apply confidence intervals, and this is what statisticians do, to try and make generalizations about the group. But you can't take individual incidents and apply them to the entire group without following the proper procedures, and nobody here has. What they're saying is that individual incidents apply to the whole group. That doesn't follow. That's prejudice. You are being propagandized when you look at what's going on the internet. That's not data that you can apply to the entire group. Much like you can't say that all trans people are murderers because there has been several trans shooters.
Kind of reminds you of when you talked about people don't get the whole story, the context. Just a simple truth in God's word, right? In Proverbs 18, he who answers a matter before he hears it, it's what? It's a folly and a shame to him. So
right. And someone makes a case, it seems right until that person is cross-examined. I just did a podcast on this just a couple of days ago. And I think the title of it is the top 10 aspects of reality that atheists take on faith, something like that. But in there, we talk about the proof that you've been propagandized with regard to ICE. And I borrowed a clip from my friend Josh Howerton, a pastor down in Dallas, who gave about a dozen different propaganda pieces on the internet where they try and say, oh, this is ICE acting wrong, or this is ICE doing this, or ICE doing that. And every one of them is a lie.
Mm.
It's propaganda. And even if some of them are true, again, it doesn't apply to the whole group.
Right.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
So don't buy into propaganda. By the way, this is one reason why the Bible talks about if you're going to say that someone's guilty of something, you need at least 2 witnesses. And it also says don't favor the poor and don't favor the rich. Treat everybody with equal justice based on the facts at hand. Don't put people in groups and judge them by the group they're in. Judge them by their individual behavior.